Hi, and welcome to English-Fabule. Are you learning English? Great. Let's learn English with a very interesting story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Let's get started.
Joseph Smith created a new way of thinking that deeply shaped many lives. He shared teachings he said were from God, offering hope and community. This story explains how Joseph Smith built a global movement. The early 1800s was a time of great change in America. Many people in upstate New York were very interested in religion. There was a lot of new religious excitement. Many new churches started, offering more emotional and personal ways to connect with God. People felt that God was speaking to them again, and some believed the end of the world was near, with Jesus returning soon. Joseph Smith was born in 1805 into this period of religious searching. During this time, upstate New York also had a culture of folk magic. People often looked for hidden treasure. They used special stones and dreams to try and find riches. Young Joseph Smith joined in this treasure hunting. He became known for his skill in using these special methods, even though he didn't find much treasure. This mix of religious excitement and folk magic was the world Joseph grew up in. In the spring of 1820, Joseph was 14 years old. He felt confused about which church was right. He decided to go into a forest to pray and ask God for an answer. As he prayed, he saw two glorious beings, God the Father and his Son, Jesus Christ. Jesus told Joseph that none of the churches were fully true. Instead, Joseph was chosen to help bring back the true church. This powerful experience is called the first vision. A few years later, in 1823, Joseph had another important experience. An angel named Moroni appeared to him while he was in his room. Moroni told Joseph about ancient golden plates buried in a nearby hill. These plates contained a record of people who had traveled from Jerusalem to the Americas many centuries ago. Moroni also said that Joseph would receive special tools to translate these ancient writings into English. When Joseph was 21, he was ready to get the golden plates. He used the special tools, which included seer stones, to translate the writings. He would speak the words aloud, and a scribe would write them down. After about 90 days of work, Joseph, who had little formal education, finished translating 588 pages. This became the Book of Mormon. It tells the story of early families who sailed from Jerusalem and lived in the Americas. It also describes a visit by Jesus Christ to these people after his resurrection. 2. A new church and a new city. In the year 1830, Joseph Smith officially started his new church in Fayette, New York. Many people believed in his words after the Book of Mormon was finished. He had a big vision for a perfect city. He called it Zion. This new city would be like a new Jerusalem, a special place. It would get the world ready for Jesus Christ to come back to earth. Joseph began drawing plans for this city, showing a new kind of society. Joseph taught new and unique ideas about God. He said God had a body of flesh and bones, just like a man, and also had a wife. Joseph explained that all people were spirit children of God. Our purpose on earth was to get a physical body, learn, and grow. The main goal was to return to live with God as a family. Then people could become like God themselves, creating their own spirit families in other parts of the universe. To do this, Joseph taught that a true church was needed, with special authority from God. He said that over time, God's church had been lost or apostate. God had chosen him to bring back the true church with the same power Jesus gave his first followers. This restoration would prepare the world for Jesus' return and a time of peace called the millennium. Joseph was very good at inspiring people with his vision of Zion. Many believed that the end of the world was near. God told Joseph that the new city of Zion would be built in Jackson County, Missouri. This place was about 800 miles away from New York. It was revealed to be right on the border with Native American lands, which were sometimes called Lamanite lands in the Book of Mormon. This area was also said to be next to the original Garden of Eden. So Missouri became like a new Holy Land. Many followers quickly started buying land and moving to Missouri. They wanted to build Zion fast, as they truly believed Jesus' second coming was only years or even months away. 3. Trouble in the new city. Local Missourians did not welcome the new settlers. They feared Mormons would take their land. Violence began, with stores and homes destroyed and leaders hurt. Joseph Smith first told his people not to fight back, but the conflict grew into a war. The Missouri governor issued an order: Mormons must leave or be killed. So they were forced to flee their homes again. For 5 years, Joseph and his growing church moved, facing violence repeatedly. Finally, they reached Illinois. The state government gave them special permission to build a new city. They called it Nauvoo, meaning beautiful. In Nauvoo, the church and government were united. Joseph Smith led the courts and a strong army for protection. Missionaries went to Europe, bringing many new members to Nauvoo. The city grew fast, soon becoming larger than Chicago. During this time, Joseph Smith introduced a secret practice. He claimed an angel told him to take many wives. He married about 40 women in 3 years. Some were already married to other men. By 1844, Joseph Smith decided to run for President of the United States. He and his followers believed their prophet should lead the country. This made him a serious political threat. Some former church members disagreed with Joseph, especially about him having many wives. They started a newspaper in Nauvoo to criticize him. Joseph Smith used his army to destroy their printing press and declared martial law. The Illinois government then arrested Joseph for causing trouble. Joseph Smith was jailed. 2 days later, a mob of over 200 men attacked the jail. After a fight, Joseph was shot and died, falling from a window at 38 years old. He became a martyr for his church. His followers realized they needed to build their city, Zion, far away. They looked west to a desert land to escape further conflict. 4. A new home in the desert. After Joseph Smith's death in 1844, Brigham Young became the new leader. Thousands of Latter-day Saints followed him on a difficult journey west. They crossed plains and deserts to the Great Basin. In 1847, the first group reached the Salt Lake Valley. This land was part of Mexico, but soon became part of the United States. In this desert, the saints built the Zion Joseph Smith had dreamed of. They planned cities with straight streets and a temple in the middle. Hard work and cooperation were key. The beehive became their symbol, meaning people working together. They dug canals for farms and started mines and mills. Missionaries went to Europe, bringing many new members to Utah. This pioneer story was central to their identity. The saints wanted their own society. Church leaders guided settlements, economy, and laws. They asked for a large state called Deseret. Congress refused. A smaller Utah territory was formed, and Brigham Young became its first governor. In 1852, the church announced plural marriage, meaning some men could have many wives. Church leaders said it was a divine law. Many Americans were angry, calling polygamy wrong. The U.S. government worried about this strong religious group in the West. Problems with the U.S. government grew. In the late 1850s, President James Buchanan sent soldiers to Utah. Utah's army tried to stop them. Local fighters even killed over 100 travelers at Mountain Meadows in 1857. After the Civil War, Congress passed laws against plural marriage, making it a crime and limiting church property. Leaders went into hiding, and many men were jailed. The government even threatened the church's sacred temples. Finally, in 1890, Church President Wilford Woodruff issued a statement. He told the saints to follow the law and stop new plural marriages in the United States. A later message in 1904 made clear that new plural marriages would lead to being removed from the church. The church stopped the practice, and Utah became a state in 1896. 5. A part of the country. After stopping the practice of having many wives, the church began a new phase. It worked to become a common part of American life. For many years, people saw the church as a very different, separate group. They had moved to the desert to build their own society. But now, leaders wanted to show that members were loyal citizens of the United States. Members worked hard to be seen as patriotic. They joined local groups and took part in community events. When the country faced hard times, church members stepped forward to help. During the Great Depression, which was a time of great poverty in the 1930s, the church created programs to help its members. They gathered food and other goods to share with those in need. This showed their care for others and their country. Later, during the First and Second World Wars, many church members served in the military. They fought for their country like other Americans. At home, they supported the war efforts. This helped people outside the church see them as good, loyal Americans. These actions helped change how the church was viewed. It was no longer a group only found in the western deserts. Instead, it was becoming a part of the bigger American society. The idea of Zion, the perfect society Joseph Smith first spoke of, also changed. It was no longer just about building one city in a specific place. Now, Zion became an ideal. It was something members could build in their homes, in their local church groups, and in their temples, no matter where they lived. This wider view helped the church grow and become part of many communities across the country. Leaders continued to send young people to other states and countries to share their beliefs. This missionary work helped more people learn about the church. The church also became more organized. It built schools and offered help to people around the world. These efforts helped the church become a more accepted and well-known religion in America. It moved from being a strange, separate group to a widely recognized part of the country's religious story, still focused on preparing people for the return of Jesus Christ. 6. The church around the world. After World War II, the church began to grow much faster outside the United States. Many more people in different countries learned about the church. This growth was greatly helped by the missionary program. Each year, thousands of young men and women volunteered to travel to other nations to share their beliefs. These missionaries taught people about Joseph Smith's vision and the restored gospel, helping the church spread across continents. As the church grew around the world, new buildings became very important. Temples, considered sacred places of worship and learning, started to be built in many different countries. These beautiful temples showed that the church was truly becoming a global religion. With temples in more nations, members could now go to these special buildings closer to their homes. This made it easier for people everywhere to take part in important church rituals and make sacred promises. A very important change happened in the year 1978. For many years before this time, only men of certain backgrounds could become priests in the church. However, a new rule was given in 1978. This rule allowed all worthy men, regardless of their race, to receive the priesthood. This major change helped the church grow a lot, especially in countries with diverse populations. Regions like Africa and Brazil saw many more people join the church after this decision. More local leaders could now serve, strengthening congregations in these growing areas. This historic change truly made the church a worldwide organization. It sent a clear message that its spiritual message was for everyone on earth. From a small group that faced much trouble, the church became a large institution with members in almost every country. Its core goal, as taught by Joseph Smith, remained to build Zion and prepare the world for Jesus Christ's return. This work was now done by a vast community of believers all over the globe, united in faith. 7. The Church today. In today's world, the church meets many new situations and challenges. The Internet has greatly changed how people get information. Now, anyone can easily find details about the church's long history and its beliefs from any part of the world. This means that sometimes the church needs to talk about hard questions from its past. For example, some old stories or past practices, like having many wives in the 19th century, can be confusing. People might find old documents or accounts that are not easy to understand. The church now works hard to give clear answers and help members learn about these historical details in an open way. It publishes essays and official statements online to clarify its positions. To reach more people and show its current image, the church uses modern tools. It creates advertising campaigns on TV, radio, and online platforms. These campaigns often show real church members and highlight good values like strong families, helping others, and building kind communities. The idea is to show that the church is a normal and good part of society, not a strange or hidden group, helping people understand its message better. As a very large and global church, it also has important financial resources. It often speaks out on social issues that it believes are important, such as the value of family or the right to practice religion freely. These statements can have an effect on politics and how people think in different places, both locally and internationally. The church tries to make its views on these matters clear to everyone. The church also faces many new social ideas today. The world is changing quickly. Ideas about what a family is, how people marry, and how people see themselves are different for many. The church continues to teach its long-held traditions and beliefs, which come from its scriptures and the words of its leaders. At the same time, it tries to understand and live peacefully in a diverse modern world. Its main mission continues: to share the message of Joseph Smith and prepare the world for the return of Jesus Christ, building communities of believers everywhere on earth. 8. The story continues. The journey of the church began with simple dreams. Joseph Smith started a small group in New York, aiming to build a perfect society called Zion. This initial vision set the church on a remarkable and often difficult path. They faced persecution, moved many times, building communities like Nauvoo, and then made a challenging migration to the Utah desert. There, they worked hard to create their promised land, showing great cooperation and industry. Over time, this small, distinct group grew into a global religion. It shifted from being a separate community to becoming more integrated into mainstream American society. After World War II, the church's growth accelerated across the globe. Thousands of missionaries traveled to many countries, sharing their beliefs. And new temples were built in numerous nations, showing its worldwide presence. The very concept of Zion evolved significantly. Originally, it was a literal city Joseph Smith planned to establish, like in Missouri or Utah. He imagined a utopian society based on celestial laws. However, as the church expanded, this meaning broadened. Today, Zion is no longer just one physical location on a map. Instead, it represents an ideal realized in strong families, caring congregations, and sacred temples, no matter where members live. It means building faithful and supportive communities everywhere. Joseph Smith's legacy is profound. He introduced a worldview that has deeply shaped the lives of millions. The church he founded continues to uphold his original mission, to prepare a people for the return of Jesus Christ. This grand story is still unfolding, adapting to modern times and facing new challenges in its ongoing global journey. What aspects of this long and evolving story do you find most thought-provoking?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.